Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. It is the lunchtime kickoff watch along. Manchester City taking on Tottenham. What a game we have in store as the second game of the brand new Premier League season of both of these teams, and obviously the second round of the new season continues. Last night, Chelsea absolutely wiped the floor with West Ham, and we continue today with another massive encounter, a game in which both of these sides normally throw up an absolute belter of a game. It's normally an exciting one, it's normally an interesting one, and I, for one, cannot simply wait for this one to get underway before our very eyes. Obviously, Man City at home, Tottenham away. Both teams began live to the new season with big wins last week. City thrashed Wolves by 4-0. Tottenham beat Burnley by 3-0. Massive wins for both of those teams in those games. Are we going to see one of these teams go back to back? Is there going to be a draw in prospect? Or is the dream start to a season going to be over for one of these two sides? That is what we're going to be finding out today in this game. As always, hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And obviously get involved in the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling in the chat. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, mainly, of course, and feelings. That's my fault. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that made my eyes water. Cool. No, not dying. It's all good. There we go. Oh, that's awkward. Yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Whether it's about this game, whether it's about any other footballing topic, or any other game this weekend, let me know. This weekend is throwing up some very exciting, interesting, and what should be feisty encounters with what is yet to come this weekend. We've already had, like I say, a very explosive start yesterday. I'm expecting fireworks here as well. And like I said, these two teams normally play out a very exciting battle. I think it's going to be different this time around. You've got a Thomas Frank side who seem more adaptable, more flexible. And of course, Tottenham fans are going to be wanting a response because obviously after losing out on Eze this week, it's not exactly been the best week for Spurs off the pitch, but they're hoping that on the pitch, their club can turn it around a little bit. And as for City, it's about showing their mental strength, how they're going to come back from last season. They already had a pretty good display, like I say, against Wolves. I think if they were, with all due respect to Wolves, against a better attacking outfit, I think they would have been challenged a bit more. And this attacking outfit of Spurs could really challenge them. They have qualities and attributes that can really Spurs, in my opinion. So this one is going to be very, very interesting. We're going to quickly fly through the team news. Here is the Manchester City team. James Trafford is in goal. Rico Lewis at right back with John Stones and Ruben Diaz in the heart of the City defence. Aït-Nouri's at left back with Reinders and Gonzalez in midfield. Oscar Bob on the right. Marmoush on the left. And Shirky making his first Premier League start after, of course, coming on as a sub last week and getting a debut goal, is playing in the number 10 position with Erling Haaland, of course, as you'd expect, leading the line. Going to be interesting to see Reinders, of course. He had a fantastic debut. Going to be interesting to see if he can continue that in a, I think, much more competitive atmosphere, and obviously with a competitive game. I would imagine that midfield battle is going to be so key in this one. So I think this is going to be the first real test for him. Shirky, of course. I rated this guy at Lyon. Really like to see the look of him at Lyon. Can't wait to see more of him in this game as well. And then, of course, Marmoush on the left and Haaland. It's going to be interesting to see the link-up play between those two. And then defensively, Stones and Diaz at the heart of the defence. You do feel like if Spurs can be quick and decisive on the counter-attack, they could put them under some pressure, especially with Lewis on one side, Aït-Nouri on the other. Not exactly known for their best defensive work, either of those two. Solid enough, but not exactly the best defenders. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team works together. James Trafford, of course, keeps his place in goal. It's going to be big. It's going to be big for all of these players, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep up where they picked up, or if they can pick up where they left off from last week, of course. And then you go to the Spurs side. Vicario in goal. Pedro Porro at right back with Romero and Van der Ven, as you would expect, making up the heart of the defence, with Jed Spence as a makeshift left back. Pape Sarr is alongside the new summer loanee signing of João Palhinha and Bentancur in midfield. Kudus is on the right, Johnson is on the left, and Richarlison is again leading the line up front. Massive game, of course, for João Palhinha to come in. I think this is his first start, I believe, for Spurs, and he's going to be thrown into that midfield where, like I say, that's going to be a massive, massive area today to look at. Sarr, Palhinha, and Bentancur. There's not really much creativity in that midfield, but maybe against Manchester City, you don't need a lot of creativity, with all due respect, because City will press you. City will be more advanced upon you. And obviously that will leave spaces in behind that, with the pace of Brennan Johnson on the left and the pace, skill and flair of Mohamed Kudus on the right, you would expect for Spurs to maybe exploit those spaces on the counter-attack. And that's really what is going to be key here, because Thomas Frank is so good at adapting. He's so good at being flexible. And we've seen before that when he was at Brentford, he actually did have a decent record, to my knowledge, against City. There were a few times where Thomas Frank got the better of Pep Guardiola a few times. I think even in the it was either the treble winning season or the year after. I think Brentford got the double over Manchester City. So, you know, the manager has the manager definitely has previous of winning this kind of game, previous of obviously overcoming such a phenomenal foe in Pep Guardiola. And of course, like I said, with the players that he has at his disposal here, I mean, that midfield is going to be such a workhorse-like midfield anyway, that it is really going to keep the Manchester City midfield on their toes, that if they're not moving the ball as quickly as we know they can, or as sharply as we know that they can, then City will struggle to break down that defence. City will struggle to break down the midfield. And then it's all about whether or not at the other end, Tottenham can make the right decisions in the final third, take the chances when they fall, to obviously punish Manchester City enough. So this is really going to be a very interesting game between two, I would say, probably contrasting styles on the day. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I think set pieces could be big. We've already seen Pedro Porro this season be devastating from set pieces already in the Super Cup game that Tottenham played against PSG in particular. But yeah, I think there's a lot of different aspects today that are going to be very, very interesting. as far as what both of these teams are concerned. We're about to get underway. Big day as well for Richarlison, of course. Scored a couple of goals last week against Burnley. He's been given the nod again today. A lot of Tottenham fans backing World Cup year Richarlison to, of course, spearhead the attack for now. Be interesting to see what happens if or when Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Dominic Solanke, of course, returns. Not that there should be, but again, a lot of eyes on the referee today as well, in light of last week's dreadful displays by referees and VAR. Shouldn't be like that, but of course, as we know, there are some terrible, terrible refereeing displays. So what are our predictions, guys? Let me know. The game is just about to kick off. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling in the chat. Any interesting key battles today? Any interesting players that you're keeping an eye on? And of course, let me know your predictions. As I said in my Premier League predictions video, I'm going for 2-2. I really do think Spurs can get something from this game. I think this is going to have goals in it. It should have goals in it anyway. I think the attack versus defense element is going to be interesting. I probably would expect the likes of Christian Romero to have a big game because this is normally the kind of big game he turns up in. He's so awkward and average in other games, but in the big games, he, for whatever reason, turns up. I think it's just because the defensive element of Spurs probably does get better. But like I say, he was shocking last week against Burnley, but I think in this one, he probably will turn up a little bit. Long ball, looking out to Richarlison, goes out for a Man City throw-in to get things going here. And that's going to be an interesting battle as well. Brennan Johnson against Rico Lewis. The pace of Brennan Johnson against, obviously, the want to go forward of Rico Lewis. As Vicario deals with that well. First touch here for Kudus. It's just a bit heavy and it allows Nico Gonzalez to sweep up. City just keeping some possession here. You wouldn't expect him to be on the front foot, being the home team. Nice little ball inside. Shirky looks for Haaland. It's just cut out. Just cut out there by, I think, Polinia. As City win a throw-in. Richarlison sticks out a foot, and it's another throw-in for City. Pretty much as you'd expect, to be honest, in the opening couple of minutes here. It's pretty much attack versus defence. It's pretty much Tottenham sitting deep, sitting in, trying to reduce the spaces for the likes of Shirky to move into and the more creative influences in the team. And then looking to pounce maybe on the counter-attack, although they haven't actually had an opportunity yet to counter-attack. A little bit of possession here between Vicario, Romero and Van der Ven. Wonder if Van der Ven's enjoying it a bit more now that he's not defending on the halfway line and having to really kind of test those hamstrings of his, which I imagine are probably are on strings right now. As Rico Lewis goes in, and it's a foul and a free kick to Tottenham. Just not able to do anything with the ball, Tottenham. It just seems to be across their own penalty area between Van der Ven, Romero, and the goalkeeper so far, as Jed Spence runs that out of play for a throw-in to City. Not the greatest of starts, this. Not the most exciting or entertaining, but it seems to be a bit of an early boxing round kind of feel to it. Both teams just feeling each other out, kind of just testing each other where they're going to play and how they're going to play and what kind of patterns are they looking to try and produce as the ball goes long over the top, looking for Marmoush down this left-hand side. Opportunity to stretch his legs here against Pedro Porro. Poor ball, though, from Marmoush, and it goes to Kudus and out of play for a throw-in. A lot of throw-ins so far. Have you had some sort of bet on that was like probably a number of throw-ins in the opening 5 minutes? You probably won that bet. A little slip there from the defender. Tottenham can come away with the ball. Long ball up, and that should run through to James Trafford. Richarlison tried to nick it away there from Nico Gonzalez, and Gonzalez has actually fouled him. It's going to be a free kick to Tottenham here. Good opportunity maybe to put this one into the box, maybe. Just careless and casual from Nico Gonzalez there in possession. And Richarlison pounced very well to win the ball in a very good and advanced position. Interesting opportunity here for Spurs. Porro standing over the ball. Porro with the ball in, looking towards the back post. It's headed backwards across goal, and it's cleared away by Erling Haaland. Marmoush looking for a free kick there. Nothing doing. Long ball played in. It's controlled by Kudus. And given back to Jed Spence. And City do well to force Tottenham all the way back to Vicario. And Spurs can recycle possession and start again. It was a decent little move that by Spurs. It was a nice idea. The idea was there. It was just Haaland was in the right place at the right time to clear. Oh, Haaland lost the ball there, and he's given away a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Foul on Richarlison again. Tottenham doing really well to press the ball in advanced areas. It's just a chip over the top from Stones, and Haaland brings it down, but he's instantly being pressed. He's claiming for a foul there, maybe himself, and he goes. It's a poor challenge on Richarlison, and Tottenham have a very good opportunity here, right on the edge of the penalty area. Again, Porro's the man who's stepping over the ball. They've also got a left-footed option in Kudos if they want to take it, but it does seem to favour more of an in-swinging right foot. Good opportunity, this. It will be Porro who takes it. It's straight at the wall, but he gets a second bite at it, and it's into the side netting. Poor from Porro initially, and then the second one straight into the side netting. It's a big missed opportunity by Porro. It's mad that I said set pieces might be big in this one. Porro, normally decent from a dead ball situation, and yet he went and did that. So maybe curse of the commentator, I guess, in this situation, but either way, not great from the Spanish right back. Trafford goes long looking for Haaland. It's missed and headed on backwards, but it's not the best of headers. And Marmoush, right across the face of goal. Omar Marmoush almost putting Manchester City ahead after, again, Pedro Porro with another mistake. It's obviously a long goal kick from James Trafford looking for Haaland. It's missed by everybody. And the backwards header from Porro did not reach Vicario whatsoever. Marmoush is onto it like a shot. And he it's a left-footed attempt to try and find the far corner. But it just goes right the way across the face of goal and agonizingly wide by the Egyptian. Almost the opening goal here for Pep Guardiola's side. But bit of Route 1 football there and a bit of a handful for Spurs as it proved. Wasn't dealt with in the best of ways by Porro. Poor header from him as City come forward again here. Very good interception though from João Palhinha. Very well done by him. Vicario this time looking long towards Richarlison. That should go all the way through to Diaz and does. And City can keep hold of possession here. And now Vicario, Trafford was in trouble a little bit there. There was, again, a bit of miscommunication between the goalkeeper and Rico Lewis as Kudos puts one into the box, but it's overhit and it will go out for a goal kick. But a little bit of miscommunication there at the other end from Rico Lewis and James Trafford. I don't think Trafford was expecting Rico Lewis to touch the ball there, and it had to make him take a touch. And Richarlison again pressing from the front there, almost got a good foot on it to make it fall in his path. But fortunately, Trafford did get something on it as well, and it went away from goal, and City were able to recover. This is just a lot of pressing. Spurs are pressing in the right areas, and City just holding on to the ball a little bit too long, it seems. They managed to break it here, though. Rico Lewis's ball to Shirky, and he wins a free kick from Pape Sarr, and they can go again here. City, they've took the quick free kick. Here's Rico Lewis looking for Marmoush, cut out by Porro. Play down the left wing, and he's in here, Marmoush. It's a good save and good stop from Vicario. Very good stop from Vicario there. Big up Marco's in the chat. Lovely to have you here, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Come on, you Spurs, indeed. It'd be good for Spurs to get the win here. I like Thomas Frank, to be fair. Ball over the top. Just a bit sloppy from both teams. Like I say, just a bit sloppy from both teams in certain situations. I think I think City, when they get the ball and they're passing it around and they're holding on to the ball for too long inside their own third of the pitch, their own defensive third of the pitch, Spurs are on them like a flash. Spurs are on them, and if they're not careful, City could definitely lose a goal from that kind of situation. Spurs have done very well in terms of pressing City in the final third, in terms of just letting them have the ball in certain times and just knowing when to trigger that press. They've done very well, and Richarlison especially has been leading that very, very well. But there is also the threat that if City do beat that press, there is opportunities for them to, if they quicken the pace up, put Spurs to the sword here. Because a couple of times they've managed to beat the press with one ball or a couple of balls like through the channels, through the lines, but they're just not quick enough in terms of punishing Spurs. Even when City was at their best, they always struggled against Spurs. Yeah, they've been a bit of a bogey side for them. There's no doubt about it. Thomas Frank as well. Thomas Frank as well as Spurs when he was at Brentford was very much a team that City did not like to play against. Brentford always posed some good food for thought, and Tottenham as well. I've always been a bit of a thorn in the side of Pep Guardiola. No matter who's been manager, no matter what's happened, it's just one of those strange things in footballers. It looks like Man City might be forced into an early change here. Didn't quite see who it was that's down. It looks like it. I think it's Aït-Nouri. Is it? Yeah, it is Aït-Nouri. He goes to make a block, and I think he might just roll the ankle a little bit. Not looking good. Not looking good at the moment. He's just receiving some treatment. Whether he will be able to continue or not. He's up on his feet. Might be able to continue. We shall see. Yeah, in recent years. Lewandowski started a while ago with wrapping his hand. Now almost all strikers do it. Strange phenomenon. What do you think it's for? The band-aid, hand, wrist. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it, or whether it's just like a fashion thing or looks cool or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the idea is. I don't know whether it's just like I don't know. It could be like a medical thing. It could be just like a. I honestly don't know. I'll have to look into it. I don't know. Nice little ball to Lewis, who's now going up against Jed Spence. Jed Spence does well to stop him from progressing much further. Nice ball out wide, though. Strikes it a goal. Good save from Vicario. Haaland can't bring it into his path. Good stop from Vicario to deny Omar Marmoush. City come again here, but they're stopped this time, and Bentancur can get it away only as far as Aït-Nouri on the left-hand side. But decent strike and very good stop from Vicario to keep the scoreline goalless. Like the way Kudos has his entire hand in tape is a trend. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like, it could be like a medical thing. It could be it could just be like a fashion thing, or just because it looks cool, or just sort of like maybe some footballers may perceive it as being somewhat lucky or something. I know Luis Suarez used to tape up his hands. I don't know. I don't know what the overall idea is. City coming again here, shot blocked and away to Jed Spence. Son would have cooked in this game. Yeah. I mean, that was usually the devastating duo, wasn't it? Kane and Son, because City pressed so high that Kane's balls over the top would just release Son, and Son would be away. That was the sort of blueprint to a lot of Spurs victories over City over the years. As it is, it's still 0-0. Aït-Nouri still seems in a bit of discomfort over there on the left-hand side. So I think City might be forced into a bit of a change there. We shall see if that is going to occur or not. Nice ball on the outside. Mamouche goes for the outside of the right foot, goes right across the face of goal. Jed Spence can watch the ball out of play for a goal kick. About 20 minutes gone here. 0-0, but it does look like City are going to make that change at left back. Aït-Nouri looks like he is going to be coming off. So if you've got him in your fantasy teams, it seems as though his course has ran short here. Yeah, Aït-Nouri's just gone down again on the halfway line. It looks like City are going to be forced into making an early change, and it's going to be Nathan Ake who is going to be coming on to replace Aït-Nouri. Oh, look who it is. It's Pep Lijnders. Pep Lijnders, formerly of Liverpool, of course. It's not been the best game to watch so far in the opening 20-odd minutes. It's not been a game full of quality. There's been one or two nearly moments. But nothing special so far. Aït-Nouri limps off. Ake replaces him. Going to be an interesting battle down that side. Kudos versus Ake. More natural centre-back for Kudos to contend with rather than a left-back. And play will resume with a Tottenham goal kick. Going short again, trying to sucker City in. But 9 times out of 10 doesn't quite work. Though it's worked this time. Richarlison, nice little hold-up play. Releases Bentancur. Jed Spence. Back to Bentancur. His touch is just too heavy. And it runs out of play off of him. It worked that time. They suckered City in, beat the press, got down the left-hand side. It's just the touch was just too heavy to take it from Jed Spence's pass. But it worked down that left-hand side for Spurs. As Trafford goes long again from the goal kick. Looking for Haaland. Cleared away there by Porro. Bentancur. Back to Van de Ven. And then to Vicario. Now Spurs can keep some possession here. There is Bentancur. He's almost played himself into some trouble there, but managed to keep the ball to Van de Ven. Jed Spence looking over on this right-hand side. Nice switch to the play. Just a bit too long, though. A bit overhit. And it goes out of play for a City throw-in in their own defensive third. I say that the quality's just not there. I bigged this game up, didn't I? I had to big the game up beforehand and say, like, this is going to be a great game to watch. I can't wait. Normally a very good game when these two teams face each other. I had to big it up for it to be a bit of a disappointing one so far. But there's still time. There's over 20 minutes to go until half-time. Hopefully things can only get better from here. Hopefully. Here's Jed Spence down the left-hand side here for Spurs. Looking down the line for Brennan Johnson. Johnson against Lewis, and Lewis wins the battle, and it goes out of play for a Tottenham throw-in. And Romero back to the goalkeeper, Vicario. This has not been great. Not great. Miscontrol there from Marmoush, and it runs out of play for a throw-in. Marmoush down left-hand side, looking for Haaland in the middle. It's cut out, and Richarlison can get rid, but only as far as Ake, who does really well. Here is Nico Gonzalez. Shirky, and the ball runs out of play as the ball was behind Oscar Bob. It's just in the final third, the decision making or the quality just is not there. It's not even like the final ball. It's normally like the ball that probably could lead up to the final ball. It's just not there. It's just so poor. Not what you come to expect from either one of these teams, to be honest. Spencer the throw down the wing. It's cut out only as far as Haaland manages to steal the ball here, and now he's powering through. It's Erling Haaland. Lovely little ball through. Oh, what a save from Vicario. Marmoush was in. And Vicario with a very, very good stop to deny Omar Marmoush. The first real bit of quality in this game. Erling Haaland just bulldozing his way through the Tottenham midfield and defence. And it's a lovely little ball that slipped in to the diagonal run of Omar Marmoush. And Marmoush just he just needs to dink it over the on-rushing goalkeeper. But he just can't, and it's a very good stop from Vicario anyway. But yeah, it's first real bit of quality coming from Erling Haaland there, really taking the game by the scruff of the neck in that one moment, just bulldozing his way through. Just a bit of miscommunication between Bentancur and Sarr allowed Haaland to steal the ball, bulldozes his way through Polinia, lovely little ball through, and yeah, he just swings at it. Marmoush swings at the ball, and Vicario made himself big to deny him. Fantastic work, though, by the Norwegian forward. And City now have a free kick in a dangerous position. Play down the left. Marmoush looking to cross. It's blocked. If Tottenham get the ball away, which they do, that was a complete waste of a free kick. Kudos now. Looking to put some pressure on. He's won the ball in a very advanced position here. He's looking for some support, though. Oh, ball gets blocked, and it's back with Vicario. But good play. Good play from Tottenham there. Good play from Kudos initially to win the ball, but kind of needed to release it a little quicker than that. Putting Diaz under pressure there, Kudos, but Diaz manages to win that battle. It's just not happening so far for either team. Like I say, we just had our one real moment of quality by City, and it resulted in a decent shot being saved, decent save from Vicario. Jed Spence swings it over to Kudos on the other side. Bentancur, Polinia, Romero. Both teams keeping the ball without really doing a lot with it. Van der Ven, Polinia. Porro, Romero, back to Vicario. Vicario's had a lot of touches in this game. Long ball by Vicario. Ooh, looking for Brennan Johnson, but well cut out by John Stones, and it will be a throw-in to Tottenham. Half an hour gone. Just over half an hour gone, should I say. Man City 0, Tottenham 0. Marmoush going closest in this game, forcing a couple of decent stops from Vicario and also having a shot that went straight across the face of goal. As for Spurs, nothing really of note, in all honesty, from Thomas Frank's side so far. As the ball goes through to James Trafford. And Van der Ven fouls Rico Lewis, and it'll be a City free kick just before the halfway line. And Brennan Johnson's going to get a stupid yellow card for kicking the ball away. A rule that, of course, they don't use to the best of their consistency, referees, but it was blatantly obvious and blatantly stupid from the Tottenham winger. Didn't need to happen, didn't need to be a thing, but yet now is. Ridiculous on his part. Could come back to bite him later, of course. You can clearly tell Tottenham just missed something creative in that midfield, can't you? They just so miss something creative. Poor final ball this time from Reinders. Goes out of play for a goal kick. But yeah, you can clearly tell there's just nothing in that middle that screams creativity. Bentancur is not creative. Palini is obviously not creative. Sarr, you'd probably say he's the most creative out of the three of them, but even then, it's like he's not that creative. There's a lovely little flick on there from Kudos, and Richarlison's in, and he's got Brennan Johnson screaming for it. It's 1-0! Oh, but the whistle's gone. It's offside. I thought that was it. I was looking at it, and I was like, Richarlison was in, and he had Brennan Johnson just screaming for it on the other side. He was all alone on the other side. Now, this one is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. It's a flick on from Kudos, and Richarlison's in. And it's not the best of passes across the face of goal by Richarlison, but it manages to just about get there. And it's actually a decent finish from Brennan Johnson to say how the ball got to him. But they are checking whether this is on or offside. I think it's on. I think Ruben Diaz is playing Richarlison onside here. And I think we could actually have our breakthrough goal here. I think the deadlock's broken. Looking at the still shot that they've got, assuming that is the right and correct still shot, that looks onside. This looks like we are Tottenham 1, Manchester City 0, and it's Brennan Johnson with the goal. Ref's given it. Brennan Johnson has given Tottenham the lead. It is 1-0 to Spurs. Very, very good and well taken goal by Brennan Johnson. Richarlison, like I say, it's not the best of balls. He has to kind of stop his run, but he just manages to get enough on it. And it gets a deflection off of James Trafford, but not enough to keep it from going into the back of the net. It's 1-0 Tottenham. Brennan Johnson with the goal. And we are well and truly underway right now. It's been a game that has lacked quality. It has it's not been the best of watches by any stretch of the imagination, but that goal from Brennan Johnson could change things. Now, City, what have you got to respond? And how resilient are Tottenham under Thomas Frank? Can they keep this one-goal advantage? Can they extend this one-goal advantage? Because we have said in this game that although the final third has been disappointing for both teams, Tottenham's press has been very, very good. They have won the ball back in some key positions for Spurs. They just lacked that that cutting edge in the final third to really punish City when they have won the ball back. But like I say, brilliant play from all the front three of Spurs. Kudos winning the header. Lovely little flick on to find Richarlison. Perfectly timed run by Richarlison. And then a very good cross by the Brazilian to find Brennan Johnson. And like I say, got a little fortunate. Trafford does get something on the ball, but it's not enough to keep it out. And it goes into the back of the net. 1-0 to Spurs. Ball is allowed to bounce again, and Kudos could be in. Oh, James Trafford just about gets there and clears it away. Jesus Christ. And here's Porro now looking to break his way through. He goes down looking for something. The referee's not buying it, and City can come away with the ball here. There's been a few times. Long ball goes through. Rico Lewis can't break through. Both Van der Ven and Spence. And Tottenham deal with the ball. There's been a few times where that's happened where, for whatever reason, the defense of Manchester City have just allowed the ball to bounce. I mean, that looks like it's a foul, but I don't think the referee will bring it back because I think it happens outside the penalty area. So I think City may have got away with one there a little bit with a foul on Porro. But there's been, I mean, that one from James Trafford. I mean, he does sort of pull out of the challenge, but even so, like, it's still so awkward from Trafford. But the reason why is because the ball is just looped forward. And rather than deal with it, the City defence have allowed it to bounce and then try to deal with it. And on a few occasions where that's been the case, Mohamed Kudus or someone from Spurs have attempted to just put the City defence under pressure. And it has worked every time. City's defence is so poor right now. City's defence is so awkward. And I think they've just got away with a couple there. The game has certainly livened up now. The more and more that I see it, the more and more I think it's a foul from Trafford, you know. Should not be put under pressure by that anyway. The City defence should be clearing that. But I think the City have got away with a big one there. That is a big get out clause that I think the referee and linesman and VAR have just given Spurs there. Because Trafford's come all the way out. And it's not a penalty, so they can't go back and really check it. Unless, of course, they deem it a red card offence. They got away with. I think they got away with one twice in a matter of a couple of minutes. I'm just looking at it back, like I don't know if the Porro one was in the box. That's the only thing that I will say on the Porro one. I think it starts outside the box and continues on the inside. So don't think the Porro one is on the inside, but even so, like the ref missing it did look more of a foul. And then of course the one on Kudos, like that's absolutely bizarre. But there's been, like I say, there's been a couple of times where that's been the case for Spurs. They've managed to get the ball in decent positions, and City's defense just have not been able to deal with it, or they've not wanted to deal with it. Like I said, they've let the ball just bounce there. Spurs have won the ball back again here on the edge of the City penalty area. It's crossed in, it's blocked, it's behind for a corner. Nathan Ake putting the ball behind, but again, City just not helping their cause whatsoever. City's best attacks in this game, or City's way of hurting Spurs in this game, has been where they've been more direct. When City go more direct, they have a way of hurting Spurs or getting something out of that. They have not done that enough. Because when they have tried to play their way out of trouble, Spurs' press has been so good that they've managed to for the most part, neutralize Tottenham. Referee just having a word there with Christian Romero. Imagine there's some pushing and shoving going on in the penalty area that he wasn't a big fan of. It's going to be 7 minutes. 7 minutes of extra time here at the end of the first half. Kudos with the corner. Ball gets played in. It's head to the back post looking for Richarlison. And it will be a goal kick. Been a very good first half for Tottenham. Quality-wise, not the best. But, oh, what has he done? Oh, it's Richarlison. It's cleared. It's through. It's 2-0. It's João Palhinha. Oh, my God. What did I say? What did I say about City playing the ball out from the back? The danger. The press from Spurs, and City have just tried to do it again. City have just tried to do it again. James Trafford has literally just it's a short goal kick to Trafford. Trafford's not the one who takes it, but it's to Trafford anyway. And then he gives an absolute hospital ball to Nico Gonzalez, who's being chased down and hunted by guess who? Richarlison. Between Richarlison and Kudos. Between those two, they've chased down the ball. And Trafford does well initially to kind of recover and stop Richarlison, but his parry can only be met by João Palhinha, who's got the most simplest of tasks to find the back of the net. City, they've been absolutely dreadful. They've been dreadful in this first half. And the fact that they keep on playing out from the back, they're doing it again. The fact that they keep on playing out from the back and all Spurs are doing is just hounding them down is just, it's just incredible to me. It's just incredible that they keep on doing it. Go direct, change it up, switch it up. They've absolutely flopped this. And James Trafford in particular, that hospital ball to Nico Gonzalez, what is he thinking? Gonzalez has got nowhere to go. Gonzalez had nowhere to go. It was a poor ball anyway. but he had nowhere to go. He wasn't going to do anything with it. And now City find themselves going 2 goals down going into half time. We've still got about 3 or 4 minutes to go here before half time, but City have been dreadful. Like City's way of going forward is to go more direct because they can't keep the ball, and Tottenham's press is just so good that they keep stopping City at every opportunity. Absolutely massive, that. Do Spurs have an obligation to buy Pellegrini? I don't think it's an obligation. I think it's an option. I think it's like a 30 million euro option or something along those lines. This should make for an exciting. Absolutely. I mean, you still wouldn't rule out City coming back and getting something, but they need to change it up because apart from a couple of moments, they've done nothing. And defensively, like I say, they can't keep hold of the ball. They really, really can't. Spurs are doing it, and that's credit to Spurs. That's full credit to Spurs, who have been absolutely excellent in their pressing game so far. Still a lot of bodies in front of goal. Pellegrini blasted it in well. Yeah, it was very good. And I know it took a slight deflection on the way through, but it was a very, very good, well-placed effort from João Pellegrini to get it through those bodies. So even if Pellegrini has a really good season, the option stays 30 million, or buying can start asking 70. No, the option's set in stone. The option is set in stone for the loan team. That can't be changed. That can't be changed. The decision purely lies on Tottenham. If he has a good season, they have the opportunity to trigger it. If he has a bad season, they don't have to. Shirky's ball in. Haaland! Oh, over the bar. He should be doing better. That's a free header for Erling Haaland. That should be 2-1. That should have been 2-1. Shirky's ball in. Haaland, free header. How has he not scored that? He's right in front of goal. He's right in front of goal. And he heads it over. That should be 2-1 going into half-time, that should be the deficit halved. 2-1 Spurs. And we should have a really, really, really good game on our hands. Instead, he's put it over. It's still 2-0 Spurs. And that should be that as far as what half-time is concerned. And it is. Food for thought for Pep Guardiola. Massive problems for Manchester City. Spurs in dreamland. 2-0 to Spurs going into half-time. Then they have Brennan Johnson and João Pellegrini to thank after what was a very good and very well-worked first goal for Spurs. Kudos, Richarlison, and then Brennan Johnson all linking up to provide the first goal. And then the second one, an absolute howler from James Trafford as City tried to play out from the back. And João Pellegrini was on hand to fire home. This has been dreadful by City's point of view, at least. Spurs, wonderful. Spurs, fantastic. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Spurs have this syndrome where they go 1 or 2-0 up and then they bottle it. Typical of them over the last couple of years. Hopefully not today. So far, so good, but we shall see. We shall obviously see. We obviously know what happened in the in the Super Cup, don't we? We know what happened in the Super Cup against PSG. So, yeah, there's still another 45 to go. I'm so interested to know what VAR or what VAR saw in that James Trafford one. His foot is hard. It seems. I know his. I think the only thing I can think of with the James Trafford foul is that they don't. They see that his foot's not extended, so they don't think it's that bad. But it's still pretty damn bad. It's still a bad foul, and without the foul, Kudos has obviously got a very good opportunity to score Tottenham second at the time. I don't know. I think that's dodgy, man. I still think that's dodgy. Like I said, the more and more that I've seen it, the more and more I've convinced myself it is a foul, and it is probably a red card to James Trafford. The more and more that I'm seeing it, I'm just trying to justify it from their point of view as to maybe what they've seen. Pep trying to be too fancy here. Just play your best players, man. Bernardo and Ballon d'Or winner on the bench. Obviously, Rodri's fitness is still a problem, still an issue. And Bernardo Silva, well, last season, Bernardo Silva's legs completely fell off. I think he played it. I think he's played it wrong because I understand why he played Shirky because I think he was expecting Tottenham to maybe sit low block and there to have to be some sort of creative influence to unlock them. But I think with that midfield, with the combination in midfield that Spurs are going to play, I think Bernardo Silva probably would have been the best bet. Fun fact, Pep's assistant called Pep, and he's Dutch. Yeah, big up Pep Linders, man. Pep Linders, former assistant at Liverpool, of course, under Jurgen Klopp. So that option, they will have first dibs. What if another team is interested too? Tottenham get first choice. Tottenham get first choice. If they want to trigger that option, then they will go ahead and do so, and no one else can really do much about it, unless obviously Polinia rejects them. I think that's the only way Tottenham don't get him. I think if Polinia goes, nah, then I think that's the only way that Spurs don't get Polinia if they obviously want him at the end of the contract. If they want him permanently, they have first choice on the transfer fee, but obviously Polinia gets the final say. It's not like Polinia is forced to move or anything. That's just the overall fee. If Polinia turns around and goes, I didn't really like my time at Spurs, then of course he can go wherever he chooses. But yeah, Spurs get the first choice on the fee. I should really change the score. Yeah, what a first half for Spurs. What a first half for Spurs. Marinakis at Forest wants Postecoglou. Yeah, that story is mad, isn't it? The whole Forest story is absolutely mad and bizarre. I saw even a report saying that Jose Mourinho was being linked today. Don't know, obviously, how true that is, but the Nuno Marinakis story. I mean, I had a Forest fan telling me like it's something to do with Edu and Nuno not getting along. That was what he was telling me anyway. It's something to do with those two not getting along. But it's surely got to do with Marinakis. Like the whole interview, the pre-match press conference that Nuno did yesterday, in which he basically talked about how the relationship between him and the owners not as close as what it was, how there's been a bit of distance put between them over the past few weeks and months. It's so strange, man. It's such a strange. I mean, I've had this kind of feeling, since the time where Marinakis walked onto the pitch and had a go at Nuno. I had a feeling then that Marinakis was, there was some friction there, shall we say. I had a feeling that there was some friction that was building between those two. And then this news came out, and my instant thought was going back to that time. And, maybe you could throw Edu in there as a sort of someone who maybe increased that friction. But to say like it's nothing to do with the owner and that it was something to do with between Edu and Nuno just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Marinakis is at the heart of it. Like, such a weird dude as it is. And obviously the things he's been doing this year in terms of, being the whistleblower on Crystal Palace, accusing Tottenham of obviously with the whole Morgan Gibbs White situation, just being a general weirdo as it is, and then obviously, awkwardly being just in the corner for the Morgan Gibbs White interview of his contract reveal. It's all strange and it all links to him. I wouldn't be surprised if he names himself as manager. He's that seemingly narcissistic. It genuinely wouldn't surprise me if after tomorrow's game against Crystal Palace, news story comes out, Forest have parted ways with Nuno Espirito Santo and they are set to welcome in their new manager / head coach, Mr. Marinakis. It's so weird, but here's the thing. Because he's like seen as this really ambitious guy, Forest fans absolutely adore him. Forest fans absolutely adore him. Now, maybe it's one of those things where it's like, because he's one of your own, or one of your clubs, should I say, you love him. But if he was someone else's owner, Forest fans would hate him. Like how every team has that one player that everybody else can't stand, but you love him because he winds everybody up. I imagine it's something like that with Forest and Marinakis. Like, he winds everybody up, so Forest absolutely love and adore him. And like I say, he's got a lot of money. He's got a bit of ambition. He wants to actually see the club do well to an extent. Maybe it's something like that, but I don't know, man. There's something weird going on at Forest right now. There's something very weird going on at Forest. But on the plus side, for a team like, I don't know, maybe a West Ham, potentially, might not be too long before Nuno's looking for a new club. And you could do a lot worse than by getting someone like Nuno in as your manager. Just saying. You can do a lot worse than by getting Nuno Espirito Santo as your manager. And with the way that Graham Potter's going right now, you would not be surprised if he's going to be on the chopping block himself at some point. But yeah, Postecoglou at Forest would be mad. Postecoglou at Forest would be entertaining but mad at the same time, because you would have Murillo's hamstrings be blown out week in, week out. You'd have Milenkovic having to defend on his own. There'd be no midfield. It'd be just all-out attack. It would just be bizarre. Marinakis and Nuno seem to have fallen out publicly. This is what I'm saying. Like I say, the person I was talking to yesterday was telling me, like, oh, it's between Edu and the manager. And I'm like, Edu's only just came in. And I understand, like, I know he was also telling me, like, Edu's not really done a lot since being there. I don't know how true that is, by the way. I'm obviously not a Forest fan. I've not been looking into it in depth as what he has. But he was telling me that Edu's not really done a lot since being there. They're falling out. Edu's staying away from the training ground. Nuno doesn't like him. He doesn't like Nuno. Nuno's not really on board with this Douglas Luiz signing. So they kind of fell out that way. But again, I just think at the heart of it all, the center of it all, as per usual, is Mr. Marinakis. I just think he's at the center of it all. And I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility to believe maybe a slight conspiracy theory that maybe Marinakis doesn't like Nuno, didn't like, obviously, what happened last season, didn't like the way they fell apart at the end of the season, didn't like the way they didn't get into Champions League football, went onto the pitch, was angry at Nuno. Their relationships obviously deteriorated over time. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility to believe in the potential conspiracy that maybe Marinakis brought in Edu to try and get Nuno out, to try and give him a reason to get Nuno out. Because you can't really turn around and get rid of Nuno after he's got you some form of European football. Because obviously, no one was expecting Forest to get any kind of European football at the beginning of the season. So to get rid of him then would have been crazy. To get rid of him now would still be crazy. But if you've already bought someone to try and get him out, and you've got to then go, it was a difficult decision, but I had to pick either my new sporting director or the manager, and I've got to think more for the future of the club, I'm going for the sporting director, or whatever the hell technical title that Edu has. It's just bizarre to me. It really is bizarre. I think Marinakis blames Nuno for bottling Champions League because Nottingham won't get the chance again with the Champions League money they could have been building. Forest had some random home losses. Yeah, they fell apart towards the end of last season. Problem with it is that I've said time and time again, I didn't think it had anything to really do with Nuno. I think he did the best that he could with the squad at his disposal. I think if you're looking for anybody to blame for why Forest fell off at the end of last season, and Forest fans won't like this again because I'm blaming the person that they think is some sort of god or whatever reason, it's because the lack of investment. They didn't have enough squad depth. Simple as that. Forest did not have enough squad depth last season. They were practically playing the same squad, the same starting 11 every single week, barring maybe one, maybe two different options. But apart from that, it was the same. It was the same starting 11. It was the same subs, and the quality was just not there in depth. That's why they fell off. So I think if you want to be like real nitpicky and you really want to kind of blame Forest for not getting Champions League football, then Marinakis should have been looking at himself and going, I should have done more. I should have put more investment in. Just saying. Because Nuno did what he could last season and did very, very well. And got them to an FA Cup semi-final, let's not forget. So, you know, I don't think you can blame Nuno for that. But for whatever reason, he decided to. I don't know. It's just something very, very weird going on at Forest right now. During the last stretch of the season, which made them miss out on the top 5. Yeah. Marinakis, Postecoglou. It's strange, man. It's strange, but it could be happening. It could be happening. Ederson is injured. Trafford is not having the best game ever. Well, Ederson is seemingly out the door at City. So I think they're just going with Trafford because Trafford's going to be the guy to take over Ederson. But that's unless they get a new goalkeeper, of course, which they're looking to. They don't seem to want Donnarumma anymore. Don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation at City as well with the goalkeeper thing. Anyway, we are back underway for the second half here. Manchester City still trail Tottenham by 2-0. We are about 2 minutes into the second half as City are keeping some possession in their own penalty area here with Trafford and Stones. Don't seem to have learnt from their previous mistakes of trying to play the ball out from the back, but all eyes are going to be on the goalkeeper now for a long, long time. As Kudus picks up the ball here, tries to outrun Oscar Bob, but Bob does very well to recover the ball for City, and here come City again here. Rico Lewis. Lovely little ball inside, across the box. Nathan Ake strikes. Good block by Pedro Porro. Very good block from the Tottenham defender there as Nathan Ake pulled the trigger. Lovely little move down the right hand side by City. Ball got played across the face of goal, reached Nathan Ake, but it was blocked. Here's Rico Lewis. Lovely little play inside and very well dealt with by Tottenham, but only cleared as far as Nico Gonzalez here. Here's Nathan Ake. Marmouche. Going for a run at Pedro Porro, gets crowded out, and Kudus does recover very well to help out his right back, and Spurs clear the danger. Charleston trying to make a nuisance of himself, but City managed to recover the ball. This is going to be the pattern for the second half, people. Spurs going to be sitting deep, trying to catch City on the counter again, and City are going to be the ones that obviously trying to get back into this game. They probably should have been back in this game already, had it not been for Erling Haaland's horrible miss at the end of the first half. Should have really done better with that free header. Very good challenge there. And Spurs maybe can get away with the ball here as Richarlison tries again to make a nuisance of himself. But it's a very good challenge by John Stones, and the ball goes out of play into touch for a throw-in on the halfway line. So Man City sticking with Trafford, interesting choice. Like I say, it's Ederson seems to be on his way out of the club. That was obviously what was being reported earlier on in the summer anyway, that Ederson was on his way out. They brought in James Trafford. There was a lot of talk that Donnarumma was going to be going to City, but I think City is said to be off put by the price tag. I mean, why PSG would get rid of Donnarumma anyway is strange. But yeah, very strange choice from PSG, but very strange choice from City. I find Ederson overrated anyway. I don't really care for Ederson. I never really have. All this kind of... No, here's the thing with Ederson, right? He's okay. He's an okay goalkeeper. He's okay at goalkeeping, right? But no one ever praises how good of a goalkeeper he is. whenever you hear anyone praise Ederson, no one talks about how good of a goalkeeper he is, but everybody talks about how good he is with the ball at his feet. He's so good with the ball at his feet. I'm like, that he may be, but that's not really what a goalkeeper's meant to do. Goalkeeper's meant to be good at keeping the ball out from the back of the net. Like, no one ever praises Ederson for that aspect of his game. You know why? Because he's average at it. He's average at it. This is why when everyone says like, oh, who's better, Alisson or Ederson? It's like, well, Alisson is. Because Alisson may not exactly be the best with the ball at his feet, but he's still pretty damn good. But Alisson is also incredible at 1v1s. 1v1s, Alisson is the king. He's the 1v1 king specialist. I've never rated Ederson, but I will say, in comparison to James Trafford, he probably does look like probably prime Buffon in comparison. Ball goes into Haaland. It's headed away. And only as far as Rico Lewis, though. Shirky, ball over the top looking for Marmoush. It's just a bit too long and it will bounce out of play for a goal kick. What do you think Pep said at half time? Stop messing around with the ball at the back. Stop messing around the ball at the back. What he should be saying is he should be saying, let's go a bit more direct. Oh, now Spurs are in trouble. Haaland lays it across. It's Shirky. Tries to stab it at goal. It's cleared away. It's blocked. I think there's given a foul in there as well. But oh my days. We've just had one absolute calamity from City at the other end. And we almost had one from Spurs at this end. Vicario giving it to Van der Ven. Horrible touch from Van der Ven. And Haaland tries to just lay it across the face of goal looking for Shirky. But the pass is overhit. And Spurs just about managed to get away with it. Horrible from Spurs in that moment. Don't need to be enticing or intriguing Man City like that. As the ball goes in, flicked on, it's into the hands of James Trafford this time around us. Charlison's not happy about something. Then again, he's never really happy unless he's doing his stupid chicken dance. It feels Trafford just barged into him there. Yeah, it was Oscar Bob pressing Van der Ven, passes it into the path of Erling Haaland, and Haaland just tries to square it across the face of goal to Shirky, but the pass is overhit, and it allows Spurs to recover and manage to escape as City make a double change here. I'd be interested to see that again because Van der Ven, when he loses the ball, I'd be interested to see if that is a foul on Oscar Bob or not. Maybe City could have had a case for a penalty. I'm interested to see because I didn't really see it at first, but they've just shown a replay then, and I'd like to see it again. But interesting stuff there as Marmoush and Shirky are off and Doku and Bernardo Silva are on. So we shall see if this changes anything for City. Pretty much like for like, in all honesty. Ball goes over the top, looking for Mohamed Kudus. Richarlison is in the middle on his own. Ake manages to get back and deal the danger and clear it down the line. Good play by Polinia. And Tottenham deal with the ball very well to recover possession. Yeah, I agree. Shocking from Haaland. Shocking from Haaland. Poor from him. Poor ball. Poor ball. Do you think that should have been a penalty for City? I'm interested to see it again. I need to see it again because it did look like that Van der Ven in a bit of panic of obviously losing control of the ball. Probably did catch Oscar Bob. It's just that I don't know if the referee was just playing on at the time, but obviously they didn't bring it back. Apollo swings in across, and Richarlison probably should have done a lot better there, but fair play, I think, to Rico Lewis. Is that Rico Lewis? Yeah, Rico Lewis there. I think that's Rico Lewis. Well defended there to stop the cross. That was a very, very good, very, very good challenge. Very, very good challenge. Very good cross by Porro to try and find Richarlison, but very, very well defended. I mean, I've just seen a still shot. Van der Ven's foot is on Oscar Bob's foot. It does look like it should have been a penalty. I think Spurs have got away with one there. God, the referees are terrible. As a shot goes in from Johnson, wide and high of the mark. Poor decision making from Brennan Johnson. I mean, it's pretty much like a 3v4 in City's favour, but for whatever reason, he decides to go for glory himself, Brennan Johnson. That was a shockingly bad decision. But yeah, I just seen the still shot of it. It looks like Tottenham got away with one. You could argue that it might cancel out what should have happened to James Trafford in the first half. You could argue that, but two wrongs don't necessarily make it right. And I'd say Spurs have got away with one big time there. As poor as what it was from Haaland, Spurs have got away with one. Which minute are you at right now of the game? I want to sync with you. I am at 57. I am at 58 minutes exactly. But then again, I think the delay might obviously change that a little. Oh, lovely boys. Johnson through. It's a shockingly bad touch from Brennan Johnson. And it's very well recovered from John Stones. Brennan Johnson's terrible. Brennan Johnson is terrible. I've never ever rated Brennan Johnson. I laughed when Spurs bought him for 50 odd million. I don't get the appeal. He's a terrible player. The only thing he's got is pace. That's the only thing Brennan Johnson has is pace. Like I say, again, Tottenham pressing City into making poor choices, playing out from the back. The ball gets played into Richarlison. Richarlison with a lovely ball quickly out wide to Brennan Johnson. And it's a shockingly bad touch from Johnson. And the opportunity goes a-begging for Spurs. Another bit of press from Spurs there. And Kudos wins a free kick. City need to stop playing it out from the back. If they are to try and get back into this, they need to stop playing it out from the back and go more direct. Playing it out from the back is not working because Spurs' press is just so good in this game. It's so good. They keep winning the ball back in these dangerous and key positions. And it's just not helping City at all. I'm watching the American TV. Oh, I'm on TNT Sport myself. Me neither. I don't rate him, and he didn't score in the Europa League final. He takes credit. It was an own goal. Yeah, I mean, it was typical that the game to decide a shockingly bad game in overall and between two shockingly bad teams overall of that season was decided by a dodgy. As Richarlison's header goes in, it's looped over onto the top of the net and out of play for a goal kick. Yeah, typical that a game between two shockingly bad teams overall in that season was shockingly bad throughout the entire course of the 90 odd minutes and was decided by a shockingly bad goal that was an own goal by, of all players, a shockingly bad Luke Shaw. It was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Spurs away. Yeah, I like the black kit. The all black kit. Like you can't go wrong with a kit that's all black like that. You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Very nice. Ball goes in from Kudus. Richarlison's header looping again, and it just goes out. It's missed the target, and it's out of play. Chelsea played in a cool kit yesterday too. There's some nice kits this season. There were some very nice kits this season, which is surprising because the Premier League is normally not that great for decent kits, but there are actually quite a few this season. Nottingham Forest home shirt, actually. Nottingham Forest home shirt is actually really, really nice. How do you think Kudus is playing today? I don't think output-wise it's been his best game. I don't think it's been his best game output-wise, but you know what? He's doing a lot of work off the ball. He's doing so much. He won't probably get the plaudits today by certain fans because they probably don't see how hard he's working as Doku runs the ball out of play and out for a goal kick. But he is putting in a lot of work off the ball, and his pressing, he's really pressing from the front and helping Richarlison win the ball back in some really good and key positions for Spurs. So I think off the ball, he's doing absolutely brilliant. And I think he's helping out Pedro Porro as well defensively. So I think defensive side and his work off the ball is absolutely brilliant. I think on the ball, he hasn't been at his best today. But to be fair, I don't think nobody's been at their best today on the ball. This has not been a fantastic advert for on the ball quality. In all honesty, but I do agree. I do like watching Mohamed Kudus. I said when they signed him, I said that is going to be a massive signing for Spurs, a very, very good signing, and I'm a bit surprised that no one else kind of picked him up. I'm surprised no one else really no one else really picked him up, to be honest with you, and why it was just Spurs that did. Pep Guardiola is cutting a very frustrated figure down there on that bench. This will be disastrous. I mean, first home game of the new season, and this is how City are playing. They're the makers of their own downfall, City, a little bit in this. Like, Spurs have been excellent, don't get me wrong. But just mistake after mistake after mistake from City. And Spurs have obviously made it so... Spurs have obviously made it so that they're 2-0 up. But at the same time, just dreadful. Just dreadful overall. I'm watching Villa after this and then Barca after. Yeah, the 3 o'clock game should be interesting today. We've got Sunderland, Burnley, Brentford, Aston Villa, of course. And another game, Bournemouth. Bournemouth against Wolves. Have you ever wondered how I'm always online, unemployed, kidding? I work from home. Nice. I like that. I'd like to work from home. That'd be really cool. It'd be very, very good to work from home. Fair play to you, man. Fair play. I hope you are. You even working on this Saturday afternoon? Fair play to you, my friend. Fair play. Hope you're having a good day, my bro. Hope you're enjoying the game so far, and hope you got a good day lined up for yourself. Other than obviously watching Villa and then your beloved Barcelona. Make Thomas Frank can make Johnson better. That's what good coach is supposed to do. Get his productivity up. Yeah, good coaches can do that, but I don't think he's a miracle worker. Like, don't get me wrong, there are probably some teams that Brandon Johnson would work perfectly in. Like, he'd probably work in a team in which does counter-attack very, very well. And in this situation, yeah, it probably does work because City advance forward and they leave a lot of space in behind. So Johnson will be somewhat effective. The problem is that when the ball gets to Johnson's feet, you have absolutely no idea what he's going to do with the ball or where the ball is going to go. It's just a guessing game at that point. People are saying Rangers is the best thing since sliced bread. It's easy to look good against Wolves. He is a very good midfielder. He's not been anywhere near as good today as what he was last week, admittedly, but he's still a very, very good midfielder. I think he's just been let down a little bit today. Like, there's just been nothing going for him. I think the overall play from City's been poor. I wouldn't say there's been like a standout bad performer, but no one's looked great. As Oscar Bob goes to ground, it's going to be a free kick to City and a yellow card shown to Christian Romero for a foul on Oscar Bob. Better from City though. Got down the wing. Romero goes flying in. He gets contact on the ball. But he kind of goes over it a little bit, or just a little late from Romero. In all honesty, so what Romero's had a solid game. Other than that, he's had a solid game, but every time he's having a solid game, it means he's having a quiet game. And Romero just goes, nah, I need to do something because I'm bored. And then his mind goes, right, I'm just going to go flying through this challenge. And 9 times out of 10, he misses the challenge, as he did then. Free kick goes in, it's all the way through. It just goes wide of the mark. Ruben Diaz, I think with the effort, dangerous ball in. Oh, it was taken off of his head, actually. I think it was by a Tottenham head. I didn't see who it was, but a vital touch, a vital interception there from the Tottenham defender. Takes it away from Ruben Diaz, who looked poised to half the deficit here. As Rangers plays in the corner, it's blocked again. It'll be another corner to City. City turning the screw a little bit here. Rangers again with the corner. 20-odd minutes left to go in this game. City trailing by 2-0. Rangers with the ball in. It's punched away by Vicario. Hit by Rico Lewis, but that is still rising, and that has probably just landed in someone's back garden or smashed someone's window or something, because that was not a good effort from Rico Lewis at all, as there is a bit of afters here between Richarlison And Bernardo Silva, it seems, Richarlison not happy over something that was said or done or not 100%. Might not be happy at so I think Ruben Diaz went down in the penalty area. He's claiming he wants a foul being given for him going down, and Richarlison's not happy with him whatsoever. He screams at him and screams at the ref. And oh no, Gonzalez. Sorry, not maybe it was Diaz. Well, either way, both Richarlison and Nico Gonzalez have received yellow cards. I'm not 100% sure the reason behind it all, but Richarlison has received a yellow card. He was not happy over. I think it was Diaz who went down. He was not happy over Ruben Diaz claiming for some sort of foul or penalty to be given when the ball was crossed in, and Richarlison let him know of his anger. He's just screaming at him, screaming at the ref, and it kind of invoked a bit of a group gathering of sorts in the middle of the pitch. Where we go? Where are we going to? Is Richarlison playing as a winger? He should be playing as a striker. He is playing as a striker. I think he's leading the line, but he's just working. I'll give him this. He's worked very hard today, Richarlison. He has worked very, very hard today. He's worked his absolute socks off. And I don't rate Richarlison. I really don't rate him, but he has worked very hard today. I'll give him that. Do you rate Doku? I don't. No, don't rate Doku. I think he's very skillful. I think he's very quick. He's very good on the eye, but he has absolutely no end product whatsoever. He has got little to no end product, Jeremy Doku, and that is why I do not rate him in the slightest. It makes it look like he's doing something, but doing nothing. Do you rate Spence? Don't rate Bergvall. Don't rate Bob. God, that was close again from James Trafford. Jesus Christ. This guy likes living life on the edge. I like Spence. I rate Spence because of his versatility. Like, obviously, he's naturally a right back, but he's performed decently left back when called upon to do so. So I somewhat rate Spence. I won't want him at Liverpool, but I do rate him playing in the Spurs side. I like Bergvall. I do think there is a player in Bergvall. I really do. I do think there is a player in Bergvall. And as for Oscar Bob, I've not seen a lot of Oscar Bob, to be fair, and I know that obviously his injury last season wasn't helpful. So I think the jury is still out on Oscar Bob a little bit. I'm interested to see more and more of him, though. City are preparing another double sub here. Rodri and Phil Foden are preparing to come on. Rico Lewis is first to make way. And Nico Gonzalez is also making way as both Foden and Rodri take to the pitch. Sorry, not Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob. Sorry, Oscar Bob is off. I got the numbers mixed up. I just saw the numbers and was like, that's his number. My bad. Don't rate Archie Gray. I felt sorry for him last season when he had to play at centre back, and I felt the irony is that he was probably Tottenham's best centre back for large portions of last season. Even when they had actual natural centre backs playing alongside him, I felt he was their best centre back. As Romero, for whatever reason, touches the ball, lets it run out, and gives away a corner. But I do feel sorry for him that he wasn't playing in his more natural position. So I want to see more of Archie Gray before I really cast judgment in his more natural position. But I don't know. I don't think he's. I think he may. His header goes in from Ruben Diaz, but straight at Vicario. I think he may be a little bit overhyped. Might be decent, but might be a little bit overhyped. But we shall see. Don't rate Rico Lewis. Again, I think he's decent, but again, I think he might be a bit overhyped. So I do somewhat agree. Richarlison just being Richarlison. Richarlison, anger justified, died by Diaz, blatant. Spurs are going to make a double change here themselves. Dominic Solanke is coming on to replace Brennan Johnson, the scorer of the first goal, of course. Brennan Johnson, decently taken, slightly fortuitous that the ball hit the goalkeeper and went in, but decent nonetheless. And Richarlison is making way as well for Matthias. Oh, no, sorry. What's Odebert's first name? I was going to say Matthias Odebert. That's not right. I forgot what his name is. I forgot what Odebert's first name is. Wilson. Of course, Friday night dinner, Wilson. How did I get that wrong? I might be thinking of Matthias Tell, that's why. Wilson, Odebert, Matthias Tell. Yeah, Wilson, Friday night dinner, of course. It's Friday night dinner. Wilson. I don't rate Richarlison. I really don't. Like, he's got a lot of work rate. As Doku's racing through, he's standing up Pedro Porro, goes one way, goes the other, pulls it back. It's a very, very good challenge from Mickey van der Ven. Awesome challenge from Mickey van der Ven to deny a clear goal-scoring opportunity for City there after Jeremy Doku's tricky run against Pedro Porro. Well played, Mickey van der Ven. Love to see that again. Going one way, then the other. Cuts it back, looking for, I think, Phil Foden. What a challenge that is from Van der Ven. Just about gets away with it there, Van der Ven. It's not anything on Foden. Otherwise, that could have been a penalty. Big challenge. Big challenge from Van der Ven there. Yeah, I don't rate Richarlison. I think he's got a good work rate. I'll always give him that. And I think that he's pretty good at scoring a particular type of goal, which is basically a run across the 6-yard area to the near post. Other than that, I don't really rate him. I don't really rate Richarlison in any way, shape, or form. I think he's got a massive ego. I think he thinks he's better than he actually is. And like I say, I just don't see it with him. I don't see it with him, which is why I think he's never got that big move. Like, yeah, of course, he went to Everton and he went to Tottenham, and I get that. But I just don't. I just think like he didn't get that big move to like one of the proper proper clubs in English football or across Europe that maybe he was thinking he deserves. I remember when he kind of said once that he reckoned he could play for Real Madrid. And maybe he could in like a charity game or something. I don't know. Pedro Porro gets a yellow card. Oh, he's in my fantasy team as well. You better keep a clean sheet now, you absolute muppet. So far, my fantasy team is not doing well this week. Kudos has done nothing for me. Shirky, Haaland, and Reinders are doing nothing for me. Yesterday, Cole Palmer was my captain. Obviously got injured in the warm-up. Absolute melt. And at least João Pedro got me a goal and a couple of assists. And Mark Cucurella got me an assist as well. But otherwise, it's not looking good so far for my fantasy team, in all honesty. Not looking good. Who have I still got to play? Oh, I'll have Pickford in goal tomorrow with Tarkowski. I don't remember who else. I don't remember who else, to be fair. Pickford and Tarkowski to play tomorrow. And I got Gyökeres playing tonight. So hopefully Gyökeres gets me some points. Otherwise, it's going to be a horrible week. Rodri and Foden come off. Start with those, and I reckon Spurs don't go 2-0 up. It's going to be an interesting one for Rodri. Is he going to come back, and is he going to hit the ground running from his injury? Those kind of question marks. It's going to be interesting for Rodri in particular. Foden, he's got a lot of doubters to prove wrong after a dreadful season last year. So it's massive. His header goes across goal and it's tipped off the crossbar. Tipped off crossbar. Bernardo Silva's header. Deep cross in, headed by Bernardo Silva, and I thought it was off the crossbar. It's onto the roof of the net. I don't know whether he's trying to just loop it into that corner over the goalkeeper, or whether he's trying to head it across goal towards Haaland. I'm not 100% sure from Bernardo Silva, in all honesty, but either way, it misses the target. Solanke, absolutely. Johnson always plays good for Wales, though. International football is different to club football. Wilson, Odegaard, yeah. I don't know why I was combining Matthias Tell, Wilson, Odegaard together. It was weird. Wilson, Castaway, yeah. Wilson, Castaway, Wilson, Friday Night Dinner. Yeah, Wilson. Absolutely clutch from Van der Ven, absolutely. Well, the reason I put him in was because it seemed like he was going to be on set pieces this year. So I was trying to be a bit clever and be like, you know what? It might actually work out. Set pieces, Porro. He gets a couple of goals as well, does Porro, from time to time. And he's got a wicked cross on him. So I was thinking mainly about the assist points and things like that. But if Tottenham can hold out here for another 5 to 10 minutes, he'd have got me 2 clean sheets in 2 weeks. Foden tries a shot from distance straight into the grateful gloves of Vicario. But yeah, he'll have got me two clean sheets in 2 games from Porro. So wouldn't be a bad return so far, but I would like him to get a goal or something. That would be quite nice. Can you change the team every week? You get 1 free transfer a week that you can build up. So if you don't, so I haven't used my free transfer this week, so I will have 2 for next week. But if I don't use it again, I'll have 3 for the following week, and so on and so forth. And you also get chips as well that you can play that allow you to do certain things. So you can there is a chip that makes you change the entire team if you want. And that could either be just for one simple game week before it reverts back to your old team, or you can just change the entire team completely for the rest of the league. So Tarkovsky, the volleyballer. That was not a penalty on Monday night. He was hard done by. If that was if that's a penalty for a handball, then it again calls into question why the handball between Liverpool and Bournemouth wasn't called out. If you're going to give a handball for the Everton one, it's a definite handball for Liverpool versus Bournemouth. As Kudos comes off and Bergvall is on. Here is Bergvall's first interaction of the game. Lovely little bit of play. Beats the defender. Bergvall cuts it back for Odegaard, who strikes wide. Very good opportunity there for Tottenham to make it 3-0. But the ball is struck wide. Very good play from Bergvall. Gets away from the slip of the defender rather fortuitously, all things considered. Finds Odegaard with a little cutback. But unfortunately for him, he strikes wide. Not good for my bet either. Damn. Foul from Bergvall there on Ake. Foden with a free kick for City. Big up, Ozan. How you doing? Well, my bro. Lovely to have you on board with us this afternoon. Yo, Fletch. Agent Linders is doing his job well. Agent Linders, indeed. Sabotage from within. Love it. Yeah, big up Mohamed Kudus. Very well played today. Hope Spurs don't go wasting time on the corner flag. They don't need it. It's Spurs. They need all the help they can get. Free kick goes Spurs' way. Shocking from Odegaard. Don't think he really could have done much else from it, to be honest. Certain City fans are leaving early. Our topic, should I go for a black hat coffee right now or ice cold Coke Zero? I'm not really a coffee drinker, to be fair. So kind of asking the wrong person, I'm afraid. I'm not really a coffee drinker. Linders, agent of who, supposedly? I am not in the league. So Pep Linders was the former assistant manager of Liverpool Football Club under Jurgen Klopp. And he obviously then went away when Klopp did. He went to go and manage Salzburg. It didn't quite go to plan. Or was it Leipzig? It was one of the Red Bull clubs. I want to say it was Salzburg, but now that I've said it out loud, I kind of now feel like it was Leipzig, but I feel like it was Salzburg. Didn't quite go according to plan, and then Pep Guardiola gave him a call and wanted him to be a part of the coaching team at Manchester City. So the idea is that he's doing what Jurgen Klopp couldn't from the inside, and that is destroy Man City. He's carrying on Jurgen Klopp's noble work. I think there'll be 4 minutes of added on time here as Tottenham are making another change with Danso coming on to replace the goal scorer of the second Tottenham goal, João Palhinha. Bit of wasting time, bit of shoring things up. Danso takes his place on the pitch for Spurs in what could be an incredible victory for Spurs if they can hold on for the next 3.5 minutes, which you would imagine they're probably going to. Pape Sarr has been excellent. They've just given him player of the match. He's covered so much ground. He's been excellent in this game. West Ham fans yesterday left at the hour mark and 60 minutes in was mostly empty. I mean, I'm surprised it lasted that long, to be honest. It was dreadful from them yesterday. It's like they had the opening 10 minutes where it was like, okay. And then as soon as Chelsea went 1-1, and even then, when West Ham got the second goal that was ruled out by VAR, you kind of thought, yeah, that's it. That's all they're going to get from this game. That's all they're going to get from this game. About 2 minutes to go here. It looks like it's all done and dusted for Spurs. Big win, 3 more points. Problems, though, for Manchester City. They're slow, lethargic. Just lackluster and so casual when the ball was at their feet. Like, just so casual. So casual. Solanke goes for goal. It's a good save from Trafford. Falls to Odegaard. Another decent save. Pushes it away. It'll be a corner. So close to 3-0 for Tottenham. Dominic strikes at goal. Lovely little bit of play. Works it around Ruben Diaz. And then goes for goal. It's a very good stop initially from Trafford. Headed down and pushed away by the England goalkeeper to stop City from going 3 goals to the good. Unfortunate from Spurs there not to make it 3-0 as Pedro Porro will take the corner for Spurs. Cross gets delivered. It's cleared away only as far as Odegaard. Oh, can't quite work a shooting opportunity here, Spurs, as Jed Spence spreads it out to the wide right again for Porro. Porro with the ball in. Crossed in. Solanke, no, not quite there. Headed away. And Doku and Ake can both get it away, can they? It's a foul on Ake and a free kick will be given. Quickly taken free kick. Rodri. Jed Spence cuts it out, but it will be a foul on Rodri going back to there anyway. Honest question, Fletch. Are you nervous for Monday night? A little. And the only thing I'm like, why I'm saying I'm a little nervous. I don't know about Liverpool fans. We seem like calm about Monday. We seem to be going into it going, we know what to expect. We know what we're going to have to endure. But what I am seeing is a lot of Newcastle fans. A whole lot of Newcastle fans really, really riled up about Monday. And they're doing a lot of talking. Newcastle fans. They're doing so much talking. In terms of, Joelinton's going to be on assault charges by the end of this game, and we've really got to get into these lot, and they're sitting ducks, Liverpool. We've got to take advantage. Full-time whistle's just gone, by the way. Tottenham with a massive 2-0 win over Manchester City, thanks to goals from Brennan Johnson and João Palhinha in the first half. That is a massive win for Spurs and Thomas Frank. I bet those lads are absolutely exhausted. They covered so much ground. They pressed City. There are problems for City. We will get onto that a little later, but I will cover these chats first. So, yeah, what I am saying about Monday is I'm seeing a lot of talk from Newcastle. Newcastle fans, so much chatter, so much talk. You best hope your team can back up your chat. That is all I'm saying. Because if they can't back up what you're chatting, we're going to come back for you. We are going to come back for you. Like, there's so much chat. Like, you're entering into a very hostile atmosphere. Oh, it's going to be like a fiery cauldron when you walk in. The atmosphere is going to be too much for Liverpool to handle. You know, they're coming into it with no right back. There's no Frimpong. There's no Connor Bradley. Joe Gomez is unfit. Might have played Soboslai right back or Endo. Harvey Barnes or Anthony Gordon is going to be having the right back on toast. Like, there's so much chat going on from Newcastle fans right now that I, for one, am just mellowed out over it. I'm just waiting for Monday. Because whilst I think we can go there and get a win, I'm not going to be too disheartened if we draw. Which is why I said in my prediction video that I did, I said it would be 2-2. I said it's going to be a 2-2 draw because our vulnerabilities are their strengths. They'll play the ball down the right wing for Elanga. Elanga will go through on goal. And then it's about whether or not Elanga has the composure to actually do something in the final third. Chances are he's against Liverpool, so he will. If he was against any other team, Elanga would probably trip over his own shoelaces and absolutely embarrass himself. But the chances are is that down the right, you've got Elanga, who will use his pace to get in behind Kirkez at left back. I think we should play Andy Robertson, but I can probably see him still going Kirkez. Then on the other side of things, like I say, we haven't got really a proper right back. So Harvey Barnes is probably going to be leading the line down there. He is going to use his pace and his skill to get him behind. And then there's Anthony Gordon, who will probably be leading the line for Newcastle up front, who's probably going to be drifting out to that left-hand side to really sort of hurt Konate and whoever we decide to play at right back. So there's a lot there to digest already, just from that early observation right off the bat. But like I say, it's big for both teams. But there's a lot of chat coming from Newcastle. A whole lot of chat coming from Newcastle. And if their team, like I say, don't back it up, we'll be ready. We'll be ready with screenshots. We'll be ready with audio clips. We'll be ready with every single thing that these Newcastle fans have said going into this game. I'd be starting off straight away with, within the opening 30 seconds, just getting Ryan Gravenberch to absolutely body Joe Linton. That's how I would start the game. Gravenberch just to absolutely body him. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be nice. But you know what? Getting a point at St. James's Park, it's not a bad result. I'm not against going there and getting a draw. I'd love to win, obviously. Obviously, I would. But a draw is not going to be the worst result in the world. It's always a tricky ground to go to. It's never pleasant. It's never quite as straightforward as you would like. But a point, that would satisfy me. That would satisfy me on Monday. And then, of course, on Tuesday, the bid goes in. The bid for Isak goes in. And then we really put Newcastle's resolve to the test. I have a feeling we will drop points, but hope I'm wrong. Same. I think we will drop points. I think we will, simply for the basis of our defense is just so stupid sometimes. But our defense on its day can be frightening. It's going to be a massive test of those players' mental strength. Massive test of their mental strength. If they can get through this game, that will be a massive, massive boost for them. A massive boost of confidence and momentum. Going into Arsenal next week as well, that is huge. With Arsenal on the horizon, that will be massive. Massive, 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 massive. Desmond Tutu. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more on the Desmond Tutu. Absolutely couldn't agree more. Big up Bush Baptist. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Lovely to have you with us. So, yeah, to sum up, Man City 0, Tottenham 2, goals from Brennan Johnson and João Palhinha get Spurs to a big win away from home at the Etihad Stadium against Manchester City. Tottenham go 2 wins from 2 games, 2 clean sheets from their opening 2 games. A much-needed victory after what has been a very difficult week to digest with all the Eberiche Eze news and things like that. But Spurs were magnificent. Spurs absolutely deserved that win. They pressed from the off. They never gave up. They probably are absolutely shattered right now because of how much ground they covered and how much they pressed Man City throughout the entirety of the 90-odd minutes or so. They were absolutely brilliant, were Spurs from start to finish. It wasn't exactly the best game of... it wasn't exactly the best game of football to watch by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't exactly the prettiest game to watch, but Spurs got the job done and did it in brilliant, brilliant fashion. As for... the bloody Champions League draw phases on Thursday at 5. I'm not going to be able to... No, I'm not going to be able to... It's on Thursday. I thought it was Friday. Oh, well. I'm going to have to miss that. I'm going to have to do that on the Friday morning. I'm going to have to do the Friday morning show like that. Yeah. I'm going to have to do that. Where was I? Yeah, as for City, they were dreadful. Putting it bluntly, they were awful. They had no urgency, no tenacity, nothing going for them whatsoever from back to front, from front to back. They were absolutely atrocious. A lot of that down to how good Tottenham were, admittedly. Tottenham were very, very good in stopping City from playing out from the back. But there was nothing that changed it up from City's point of view. They didn't change it. They didn't modify their approach in any way, shape, or form. They didn't go longer. They didn't go more direct. They just stuck to their guns, and it ended up costing them. And it was actually a fairly comfortable afternoon for Tottenham, in all honesty. 1 or 2 moments for City here and there, I guess you could say. Marmoush had a couple of opportunities in the first half. Haaland should have done better with a header right at the stroke of half time. But other than that, Spurs were completely comfortable throughout the entirety of the game. And City were appalling. City were absolutely appalling throughout. And Spurs were very much well and truly deserving of their 2-goal win against Man City on the lunchtime game thing that took place, whatever. Watch us draw Real Madrid at Anfield. Oh, absolutely. There's gonna be some interesting games that are thrown up, and Liverpool Madrid is certainly going to be one of them. Liverpool Madrid is certainly going to be one of them. There's going to be some interesting some interesting ties coming up that are conveniently surrounded and engulfed in narrative and storyline. Trent Alexander-Arnold will return to Anfield. There is no doubt in my mind about that. I think we can also get PSG, so it wouldn't surprise me if PSG as well may be in our group, because we get one from, we're going to be in pot A, aren't we? So we get one from pot A, as well as then 2 from pot B, 2 from pot C, and 2 from pot D. So we might get 2 from pot A. That would make more sense, because that's 8. I forgot how it works already. I've completely forgot how it works. UEFA just loves it. Yeah, we just had the same. Yeah, I didn't even read this comment until just now. But yeah, the narrative and the storylines are conveniently all there. I mean, remember when Haaland went to City, and like one of his first Champions League games with City was against Borussia Dortmund, and I think Madrid had it themselves with Jude Bellingham. Conveniently again against Dortmund. So yeah, don't tell me it's not all somewhat fixed in that aspect. I couldn't care less either way, because they still have to face these teams, but it does seem a bit convenient that certain storylines like this come up, and then conveniently it's like, oh, out of the realms of possibility, they've actually managed to put them two together. Who'd have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Anyway, we're going to end it there, guys. Thank you so much to each and every single one of you who joined me for the watch along. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and probably be greatly appreciated. Thank you to each and every single one of you for getting involved in the chat. Big up to each and every single one of you for joining me and for contributing. Absolutely love that and adore that from each and every single one of you. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Really does mean the world to me. And I guess I will see you all again soon in another video or live stream. Take care, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Until next time, goodbye for now.